Hello bookworms! Sorry I've been absent. I am done with school now and I'm back home. As you can tell, the scenery is a little bit different. Today I wanted to give you the rest of my bookshelf tour now that I'm home and I'm with my main collection of books and everything's back integrated. So we're going to go around the 5 bookshelves in my room, 4 bookshelves. You'll see what I mean. There's a couple. So let's go do the tour. The first bookshelf that I wanted to look at is my TBR shelf. So this is a little Mickey Mouse shelf thing that I've had for years, and it's where I usually always keep my library books or any books that I'm currently reading when I'm home. So the 4 books that I have on here that I've either just gotten or am inclined to read right now are Caraval by Stephanie Gerber, Court of Winks and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I really want to get started on this one. Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, and Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, because Lord of Shadows just came out and I've had this for like 6 months and have read only like 12 pages. So yeah, gotta get started on that. So this is my little TBR Mickey Mouse shelf. So this is the first of my main bookshelves. I used to have it on my floor, but now I actually just keep it up on my dresser. And it's just so I have more space in my room, because my room is fairly small for a furniture room. So we're going to start on the top shelf, and I'm not going to pull these books down just because of spacing. But I've got this little elephant that one of my best friends got me from Tanzania, and she brought it back on the plane for me. So let's move you. Most of my books are alphabetical, except for a big pile that we'll see at the end. So first we've got the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series by Broshoners. I can't really read that from here. A copy of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Something more exciting than your authentic self. This is a cassette tape version of the Shannara series by Terry Brooks. This is another Terry Brooks book. The Wish Song of Shannara, though it's like book 3, so I can't really start it. Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. Then we've got, this one is Digital Fortress by Dan Brown. Oh, my phone is blowing up over there. Warriors of Alvana. There we go. Warriors of Alvana by Brown. Jane Eyre by Elizabeth Bronte. The first 2 books of the Princess Diaries series by Mike Cabot. Jinx by Mike Cabot. Pathfinder by Orson Scott Card, and the first 3 books of, I believe it's called the Chosen series by PC Cast and her daughter Kristen Cast. This is a pretty good series for like vampire teen YA. I enjoyed it. Alright, my little elephant can go back up. You'll notice around my room that a lot of my bookends are like baseball and soccer trophies from when I was little. So the second book on my shelf is, this is an owl that another friend made for me because she wanted to, and it was a birthday present, so I keep it up here. Any gaps that you see on my shelves are most likely because the book is on my TBR shelf or I'm being generous and lending it to someone. So we have The Dark Hills Divide by Patrick Carman. Allison by Lewis Carroll. Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul, because who doesn't like chicken soup? They have some interesting books. The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. House on Mango Street by Sandra Ciceronis. I know I'm saying that wrong. I can't remember how we pronounced it when I was in class. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Fallen Angels. I don't own City of Heavenly Fire, so if anybody wants to give me a copy, that'd be cool. And then obviously Lady Midnight should go right there as well. Next we have the first 4 books in the Artemis Fowl series. So we have Artemis Fowl. Oh, no, it's supposed to be The Arctic Incident, which I love this cover still to this day because it's like shiny, but like you can feel the cold coming off of it. The Opal Deception, and Artemis Fowl and the Eternity Cold. Code, all by Ian Colfer. I should reread that series this year for my thesis. I have Timeline by Michael Crichton. And then here's a whole bunch of Clive Cussler books. So we've got Mediterranean Caper, Black Wind, Atlantis Found, Dragon, Night Probe. And we move down to the next shelf. We've got Plague Ship, Sacred Stone, The Silent Sea, and The Kingdom. And I know I have one other copy of one of his books lent to a friend. So if you didn't know, Clive Cussler is one of my favorite authors. And I can tell you for sure there's a whole bunch of other Clive Cussler books in the family library, which I may do a tour of, but I really need to reorganize it because there's so many books and I don't even know how I would begin to start filming that. That's how crazy it is. So, I want to apologize. I realize that if my voice sounds funny, I can't tell if I'm sick or if my allergies are just going crazy since I got home and now there's like all the flowers I'm allergic to. But this is my third shelf down, so we went through the Clive Cussler books because there's just so many of them. This is like a little camera pencil thing, and you can see like each of the dividers is a different picture. And you can switch them out and stuff, which is really cool. But I don't want to like ruin it by putting stuff in the bottom of it, so I just kind of keep it on there. And then I have a bookmark from when Deathly Hallows came out. And this was 10 years ago, which is crazy. And I don't want to like use it or lose it, so I just kind of like leave it sitting here on my bookshelf. Okay, people keep trying to talk to me, and I'm busy right now, people. So then we get to some of the other books. So on the shelf, after the Clive Cussler books, I have A Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Woe, which by Junot Díaz, which we saw another Junot Díaz book, which title I can't remember since my phone's going off right now. But it's in one of the piles over there now, which we will look at and go, oh yeah, it's that one. I have Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and a ton of Hardy Boy books, which I might be actually getting more in the next couple days. So The Secret of the Wildcat Swamp, The Crisscross Shadow, another copy of The Crisscross Shadow. So I've got a glossy and a hard copy version of this book. The Clue in the Embers. Oh no, things are falling down. The Secret of Pirate Hill. The Yellow Feather Mystery. A different copy of The Yellow Feather Mystery. The Hooded Hawk Mystery. And The Great Airport Mystery. I really like the Hardy Boy books, if you can't tell. Mysteries are like my thing. Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. I don't know. And there's a phone number written on the front of this, but we're not going to look at that. Hatching Magic by Anne Dower. Round the Fire Stories by Arthur Conan Doyle, which has Sherlock in it and also has some other things, I believe. So, yeah, this one's fun. The Treasured One by David and Lee Eddings. This is a series my brother got me for Christmas, which he's the only one that got me any books for Christmas, so shout out to Liam. This is Michael Vey, The Electric Collection. So it's book one, The Prison of Cell 25, The Rise of Aljan, and the Battle of the Ampere. And these are the covers, which, as you can see, because I haven't even opened it yet, that these are not read. He told me if I didn't read them that he wanted them to read. So I think he was just using them as an excuse to buy them for himself. Though he hasn't come and stolen them yet. So, I don't know. And then I've got another author that goes to the next page, the next shelf. Oh, this is a Harry Potter coloring page that is so pretty that I don't want to color it. Those type of things. I'm one of those people. But, so Walter Farley I loved growing up, so I have a lot of those books. several of them at least. So we have The Young Black Stallion, The Black Stallion Mystery, The Island Stallion, Man-O-War, The Black Stallion's Filly, and The Black Stallion Legend. This is the last shelf on this bookcase on my dresser, so we went through the Walter Farley books. So then we have The Magic of Nightfall by S.L. Farrell, Old Yeller by Fred Gibson, The Pirate Queen by Alan Gold. This is an amazing book. I actually want to do a reread of that, hopefully this summer. The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. I love Philippa Gregory's books for historical fiction. This is the movie cover. Respect for Acting by Uta Hagen. This is a style of acting that my professor at school teaches heavily, so I use this book at least once, if not twice a year, depending on the semester and what I'm taking. So it has good ideas. It's good also if you're writing to really get into the character, to get into the character's head, because there's like character-based character development questions. Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. Then we get to the plays that I am in. So this is one of the plays. It's Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Suicide Club by Jeffrey Hatcher, and I was, as you can see, Christian de la Bagassière, and I was French. Sea Star, The Orphan of Chicotique by Margaret Henry. The Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. Phoenix Rising by Karen Hesse. Warriors Into the Wild, the first book of the Warrior Cat series by Aaron Hunter, who is actually a collective people. Warriors, The Sight, which is the first book in the second series. And The Quest Begins, The Seekers, which is the first book in the Polar Bear series. As you can see, I am not very good in Aaron Hunter and keeping up the books. I just bought them as I was reading them when I couldn't get them from the library, and this is what happened. This next section will continue on to my other bookshelf, so it'll be fun. One of my biggest influences as a writer and reader, if you remember from one of my first book tags, I said was Brian Jacques. And you will see that I own almost all of the first, 13 books. So we've got, dropping the book. This is Ribbajack, which is a different series, but I still have his book for this. This is the anniversary edition of Redwall, and my brother ruined the cover, so I don't have the fancy dust jacket. Moss Flower, Madame, which these covers are just, they picture the book so well. Mariel of Redwall. I'm sorry my phones keep going off. I'm just ignoring them. The Outcast of Redwall with the nice foil cover. Solomon Dastrum. Tagaron. And The Pearls of Lutra. Again, with the nice foil cover. So I'm going to put these books back, and then we will continue on to my third bookshelf. Hello, and welcome to bookshelf number 3. Over here, we continue with the Brian Jacques books with, oh, these ones are on tight. Lomehenge, ooh. No! I'm sorry, we have a jumper. We have Triss. The one that jumped was another copy of Tagaron, which was on the other shelf. And The Castaway of the Flying Dutchman. I have now a bunch of Robert Jordan books, so, which is the Wheel of Time series. So we have the prequel, which is The New Spring, Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, ooh, glare. Let's sit down. The Great Hunt, Shadow Rising, Fires of Heaven, Lord of Chaos, A Crown of Swords, The Path of Daggers, Winter's Heart, and The Fires of Heaven, which I believe already said. I think I have 2 copies of it. We have War by Sebastian Junger, and my camera's gonna die. And Nancy Drew, The Sign of the Twisted Candle, The Mystery of the Fire Dragon, City of the Forgotten City, and The Mysterious Mannequin, all by Nancy Keene. Sorry, not Nancy, Carolyn Keene. It's Nancy Drew. We have the first book in the Stephen King Dark Tower series, and the 2 Jungle Book books by Richard Kipling, sorry. These ones have a different illustrator, so it was different. Second shelf, we have The Arabian Nights. It's a collection. Breaking Dawn by Stephenie Meyer. The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. The Lone Wolf by Catherine Lasky. The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. Oh, come back here. The Horse and His Boy. Prince Caspian. Silverchair. And The Last Battle. I am missing book 5, which is it's the ship one. I can't remember what it is called right now. We have Nefertiti by Michelle Moran, which is one of my favorite books, all about Queen Nefertiti and Fall of Egypt. The Charlie Bone series, and so we have The Twister of Time, The Invisible Boy, and The Castle of Mirrors, and the last book, The Hidden Keen. I don't have the first book in the series for some reason. So we have George Orwell's 1984. Books 1 and 4 of the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. So I have Aragon. And I have Inheritance. In the Maximum Ride series, one of the books is behind me, but I've got the Final Warning by Maximum Ride, The Final Warning, Max, Fang, whoop, and Angel. And now I have a collection of books to claim. On this last shelf of this bookshelf, we have Witch and Wizard by James Patterson and The Gift by James Patterson. I have The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman, sorry. The Psychology of Superheroes, which is a book all about how the minds of superheroes work. It's really cool. And Superheroes and Ourselves, which is again a psychological superhero book. I have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Philosopher's Sorcerer's Stone, depending on where you are. This is my first ever book, so I should get a new copy, but I don't want to. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The Goblet of Fire. Order of the Phoenix. The Half-Blood Prince. And Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. All 7 books. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay. And then I also have downstairs The Cursed Child screenplay that you saw was at school. The Lost Swords, the First Triad by Fred Saberhagen. The Complete Book of Swords, comprising the first, second, and third books by Fred Saberhagen. I don't really know why I have these. I don't remember getting them, honestly. I think someone just gave them to me. The Song of the Sparrow by Lisa Ann Sandel. This book is really interesting because it's a book of poems, or it's told in a series of poems, but it's all about Arthur. And I never really got through it, but I was interested in it at the time, so I should give it a reread because I could probably get through it fairly quickly. Sorry for speeding through this. So, the complete works of Shakespeare in an old, beat-up version. Hamlet, simplified. and Star Trek Memories, a biography of William Shatner. So this is that bookshelf. This is my last bookshelf, an actual bookshelf. So I have The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I'm not going to pull any of these down because this is very precariously set up, balanced. Black Beauty by Anne Sewell. Short novels of John Steinbeck. Grapes of Wrath, the play by John Steinbeck. Treasure Island. Robert Louis Stevenson's Kidnapped. Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betsy Smith. Fire in the East, The Warrior of Rome by Sidebottom. King of Kings, it's Warriors of Rome series by Sidebottom. All 6 of the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel books, which Michael Scott signed every single one of them. An audiobook of Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is The Children of Húrin by Tolkien. The Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, a dictionary. And In Search of Captain Zero by Alan Scott Westoker. And then we've got under here Uglies by Scott Westerfield and a Pinewood Derby card that wants to roll away. And over here is the start of the random books that I can't really fit on shelves places. I've got a little pop-up thing. It's a Weeping Angel. Don't look at it. Don't blink. Stuart Little by E.B. White. An audiobook of The Princess of Ireland by Edward Rutherford. A Bible, and Dracula by Bram Stoker. A much loved copy. So that is pretty much it for my book haul here at home. I realized, yes, I've changed clothes, I made a tank top. I forgot to film the outro, so this is me doing an outro. I hope you enjoyed my book collection here at home, and hopefully we'll be able to see some new updates to it through the next couple weeks of the summer. I'm going to be doing a small book haul in the next couple videos, some reviews that are up ahead, so if that's something you would like to look forward to, hit the little bell down below, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
You were too much, then all at once you were just enough. You're just right, you're the perfect temp. My coffee cup, one of overslept. You are complete, the final chord in the even beat. You're the perfect rhyme in the perfect time. Please can I make you mine?